Hey, how many of you who are urban school principals are thinking right now, man, I have to focus just on trying to find some new teachers. I have to hire new teachers. I know that I did not have a full crew of teachers this past year, and I better focus on getting some new teachers. There are even some teachers who I don't know about at this time who may be deciding that they want to leave, but they're not saying anything until they find another place to go to. I know how you feel. As an urban school principal, I understand that it's more critical now than what it's ever been because in the past, we've always had to deal with, teacher shortages. If you are an urban school principal or if you are a rural school principal, it's tough. It's tough in the best of times. So now, with times as they are, you say, well, why ask me if that's what I'm about to do or that's what I'm doing? Because that's what I have to do. And I understand. And I know during this past school year, you had people on your faculty who had no type of certification. And as far as research goes, it's saying that 30% of the teachers this past school year had no type of certification. And let's not even talk about the substitute teachers. You know, in some places, we just need a warm body. And that's what we've had to deal with all year. But I want you to think about something for a minute. You have those teachers who have been on your staff and they have gone through the tough times. They may have gotten on your nerves, they may have complained, but they came to work every day. And they did their best because things are beginning to turn around now in a lot of places. They did that. They did their best. They cooperated, for the most part, and you anticipate them coming back next year. So, what I want to talk to you about today is how about scheduling some meeting with those teachers who are going to stay or who you hope are going to stay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today because I feel you. If you're an urban school principal, if you are a principal with 1 to 3 years experience, I do not want you to overlook those teachers that are staying. So let's come up with a plan as to what your approach is going to be to talk to those teachers that you anticipate are going to stay. Well, the first thing you need to do is make an appointment with them and ask them to come to your classroom. I'm sorry, to your office. Or you can go to their classroom even. And when you talk to them, you're going to acknowledge what you have noticed with them throughout the school year. You're going to acknowledge that it's been some tough times. You're going to acknowledge that when you visited their classroom, they had instruction going, you had students who were engaged, and you just want to tell them that you appreciate that. The other thing is, sometimes we just have to acknowledge to the teachers that, maybe I didn't tell you enough times how much I appreciate you. Sometimes like in our own personal relationships, with our wives, our husbands, our significant others, we just kind of take them for granted. We just, know that they're going to be there. They put up with our foolishness. And, we send flowers, we send candy. We have, date nights to try to make up for all the things that we may have made mistakes about, just to show them that we appreciate them. And that's the same thing that, we're going to have to do with our teachers who are staying. The other thing is that we have to find out if they are going to stay. We are going to have to be straightforward with them. We are going to have to ask them, Miss Abdullah, um, I know you have been a new teacher. This is your second year here, and I want to discuss with you about staying. I hope that this has been an environment where you can grow, an environment where you've gotten the kind of support that you need. And I understand that there were some times when we had one thing going on in our campus, and central administration said they wanted us to do it another way, and maybe I didn't step up. I was a new principal. I was learning just like you, and I've learned from some of the mistakes that I've made. And I just want you to be able to stay with us, hang with us, do the things that we know are going to be good for kids next year. So I'm just asking, do you plan to come back? Or are you contemplating, going someplace else? Because we really appreciate you. We know that there were some times that you had some challenges yourself. And, I just hope that we were there to support you, because we know that it takes 1 to 5 years in order to develop a great teacher. And we know that we are an urban school. We're a school where our children are not performing the way they should. And we're trying to maintain those performances that were good in the past. So I just want to, ask you, are you going to hang with us? Are you going to stay here with our team and listen to them? Listen to what they have to say. It could be that they're just waiting to hear from another school district. It could have been a time when, you really got them upset and they said, I don't have to take this. I know where there are some openings. There are openings everywhere. So I don't have to sit and take this. So what you want to do, you want to promise them that you understand what they want out of teaching. Give them an opportunity, offer them the opportunity for you to have them to do professional development. Ask them if, just what their plans are. Do they want to become a counselor? Do they want to become a diagnostician, an assistant principal? And tell them that, now that you know just what their aspirations are, then you got to make sure that you guide them in a direction for career growth. That's what you do. You're nurturing the people who are staying, the people who have been there, and your veteran teachers. Don't overlook your veteran teachers. Your veteran teachers, they know so much, they've seen so much, they've experienced so much. And sometimes, they don't say anything to you because they know that, you are a new principal, or this is your second year as a principal, and, they see you making those big mistakes and they just back off. But I want you to know that those are the teachers that are staying. And you need to have a plan where you conference with them before this school year is over. Don't focus so much on those trying to get new teachers, because you're chasing them. You're chasing. You're chasing them, and they're going this way, and that they're going that the other way. So make sure with your veteran teachers that you take the time to let them know that you appreciate them. You appreciate all of the good times, and you also appreciate the bad times. You appreciate them supporting you. You appreciate them because they have maintained the academic standards of your AP students. Because, usually in our urban schools, our teachers who are veteran, they have proved to us that, they are the ones they can teach. We usually give them, our AP classes. And the other thing that we have to talk to our teachers about who are staying, and that's discipline. Everybody's trying to tiptoe around discipline. Everybody's trying to tiptoe around discipline. And discipline is impacted by your school culture. And when you talk to your teachers who are staying, you are creating a culture where you are showing by your actions that this is a place where students can be safe. This is a place where we listen to our teachers. This is a place where we want to be recognized to have a winning culture. We want to be recognized for all the good things that we have done. So, talking to your veteran teachers, ask them about discipline. See how they feel. See what direction they want to go in. Find out how they feel the way discipline was handled this past school year. Sometimes you can do something about it and sometimes you can't. But a lot of times people just want to have the ear of the principal, to hear what they have to say, to hear that they've done a good job. Besides, your evaluations, besides your 5-minute, your 10-minute walkthroughs, your veteran teachers, when you walk in there, it's like, oh, well, just somebody standing, watching me. I know what to do. I'm just gonna keep going. But you need to consider having a stay appointment with your teachers who are going to stay. And the last and the most important thing is, if you promise something to your veteran teachers, if you promise something to your new teachers, follow up on it. If you have asked your new teacher if he would be available for new teacher orientation on your campus, make sure that he is included. Because by you offering that, that's going to help him make a decision about whether he's going to go or whether he's going to stay. And it doesn't take much. As teachers, we have big hearts. We want to give and give, but we also want to be recognized. And if you promise something to your new teacher, make sure you follow up on it. Don't forget. Don't have somebody to come and say, oh no, we don't want her on that committee. She's not good for that. That is your time to stand as the principal and say, I want Miss So-and-so on that committee. And if you have any issues, you come and see me and we can work that out. And as far as your veteran teacher, when you are going to have that talk with that veteran teacher, you're going to find out that they are going to give you a plethora of things that could be done. Make them feel comfortable. Make them feel that you understand what they're asking. You understand their point of view, even if you don't agree with their point of view. Listen to them. Their feet have been on the ground a while. You are a new principal. You are a principal that, has been there maybe 1 year, 2 years. You may be going into your 3rd year. You have had to fill some big shoes yourself. But there were some things going on in that school before you got there, even though it was an underperforming school. There were some things that were going on at that school that wasn't all bad. There's some good teachers in that school. and they are waiting to hear from you. So if you are the principal of an urban school or a school that is rural, and you know, by golly, you have to find some new teachers, and we understand that. We understand that. You know, what we're talking about today is some steps that you need to take before you start looking for your new teachers. You need to take care of the people who are staying, your staying teachers. Those people who come every day. Those people who have gone through the worst times and they're still there. Do they complain? Yeah, they complain. Can you meet all of their needs? Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes not. But spend time with your teachers who you anticipate are going to stay. Will you get some surprises at the end of the school year? Absolutely, you will. But you know, if you acknowledge them for what they have done, if you set aside time on their calendar for you to go into their classroom and talk to them, or for them to come to your office and talk to you, that shows them that they are in the right place. That shows them that you want a school culture where you support your teachers. And guess what? When you create that kind of culture, they're going to tell their friends. They're going to say, you know, it's been a rough year, but I can say my principal is concerned about me. My principal listens to what I have to say. And what will they do? They will start recruiting for you. You will start to getting some resumes before school is over. You may even want to look out for some people who want to transfer to your school in January, because you have created that kind of culture on your campus. So, you know, it's like I'm focusing on, you know, on the fleeting things, the shiny objects, and I call the shiny objects your new teachers. But don't forget, focus on the teachers who are staying. Focus on your instructional coach who is staying. Well, as far as you know, she's staying. Have you asked her? Are you going to stay? And if she says, no, I don't plan to stay, that's your opportunity to say, what is it that we can do here to improve our culture to get you to stay? And if it's some things that she wants to put in place that did not seem like it was going to work, trust me, give them a chance. If that's what it's going to take to keep your instructional coach, listen to what they have to say. Usually your instructional coach is not one that's transient. Your instructional coach got to that position because they love teaching. They love coaching. You can't afford to start new with an instructional coach. You know, it's like taking 10 steps forward and then you take 10 steps back when they leave. How about your assistant principals? Now, we know about assistant principals, okay? If you are a new principal, it's a possibility that you may get an assistant principal transferred to your campus that you had nothing to do with. They just decided, we're going to place Mr. So-and-so on your campus. You've heard negative things about Mr. So-and-so. If Mr. So-and-so is being transferred from another school onto your campus, he or she is angry They don't want to be over there on your campus, but they have a vested interest in their career and they're coming. Have your plan to meet with that assistant principal. Have that assistant principal to just sit there and just air out how he feels. And that's not a time for you to be agreeing with everything that he's saying. All he wants to have is an ear. All he wants to know is things are going to be all right over here. We are going to work as a team over here. We have a culture over here that we are creating that's going to take all the talent that you have in order to make things happen. And encourage him or encourage her. They're being transferred to your campus. Let them know that it's going to be okay. And make sure, again, the things that you promised that assistant principal for the upcoming school year, make sure you follow up on that. If you have met with your assistant principal team, or if you have only one assistant principal, and you're getting this new person in who does not want to be on your campus, make them feel welcome. Include them in all of your plans. Because, they're being transferred, but they are going to bring a perspective to your school, a perspective that you may not even be aware of. They may have lots and lots of talent that they weren't able to show in their previous assignment. Listen to them. And of course, with your assistant principal, you have to establish some guidelines. This is the way we speak to our teachers. This is the way we speak to our children. This is the way we report every day. This is the way we meet every day at the end of the school day to discuss what happened so that when the next morning comes, everybody is on the same page. This is our school culture. This is how we respond to our parents. We don't care if they come in bonnets. We don't care if they come in big boo-boo slippers. We don't care if they come looking like they're high. We don't care. We will respect our parents. We respect them. A lot of them don't know how to act. We have to show them. Do we like all of them and the way they perform? No. But we have to establish this is the way we speak to our parents. This is the way we speak to our children. We don't put our children down. We lift our children up. Even in the worst of times. That's how we operate here. So go on and panic if you want to, because you're concerned about hiring new teachers. But let's put hiring new teachers on a pause. And let's come up with a plan where we will talk to the teachers who are staying. And once we have that foundation, then we can go out and look for all of the new teachers that we can put on our campus. If you enjoyed any of this information or you want more information, if you go to the script that we have some free information for you, and it's how to sustain your school success. Because once you talk to your teachers who are going to stay, and then you bring in your new teachers, the next thing is you're going to say, well, how do I sustain this success? So go to the link and get that free handbook. And if you're not a member of Principles on the Come Up, go on and click on that link as well. And we will just open that door for you to come in and join Principles on the Come Up. I'm Barbara Polk, and we will see you next time on Principles on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. See you next time.